Hi, I'm Jason Strich, visual effects supervisor for the Dead Zone for all the cool CG and computer graphics stuff. And welcome to Stargate. I'm going to show you now the basis of the twister itself. I put a lot of research into the tornado. We looked at a lot of films, we looked at a lot of history into what people had done, you know, to make these things, this natural phenomenon come to life. And what we learned was the tornado itself looked really good, but when you put it in the scene and the wind wasn't there and you didn't have the trees moving, it just felt fake, it didn't feel real. So I just gave it to these guys, and like a think tank, these guys just started jumping on the different features. And Vishal, I think the biggest breakthrough was when I saw the trees moving. I was like, all right, we're just gonna have to replace every single tree in every single scene and make it move.
So this is like a normal wind condition to go for with the trees, and you can go and change those to like, and have like heavy wind blowing on the trees.
Yeah, there you go, that's awesome. See the alpha channel on that. There you go. And this circuit completely replaced the lake water at the cabin.
You can see you put a kind of a disturbance in the water where the twister touches the lake.
So this twister had gone from basically one hero shot, to about 15 shots in the show, which meant for every different perspective, Martin had to build basically a new tornado. And Martin's actually written some code to make this thing happen, and this actually is responsible for the motion and the behavior of the twister. It's quite long. Here was his original model. We originally were, and you think I'm kidding, but it actually starts this simple. We actually go down to this level and we go, you know, what is the angle of attack of a tornado? How steep does it have to be? No, I'm just kidding. Gordon has actually been doing a lot with matte paintings. As you can see, he's replacing all the skies. Gordon's done a lot of work to make this connect to the twister over there. So when these two connect together, you're going to get this beautiful, stormy, you know, matte painting, which is actually a moving matte painting. And then the cabin on the lake, that's a different aspect of the show. We weren't able to get footage on that. We did it with digital stills at about 5 megapixels to try to simulate the latitude of the film to create a very realistic looking shot. And this we've been projecting into 3D space and replacing the water with CG water, replacing the trees, and using Gordon's matte paintings to project out there to create this full, you know, 3D environment. The cabin was taken from a completely different location.
Yeah, this is completely different. These hills were 2 separate photos. If you look here, this is all my layers of different stuff, and I could just take stuff away or add more things. So you can see stuff in behind there that I didn't want, so I covered up with another picture, and I've done lots of painting to blend them all together, make sure everything works.
Probably in this show there's probably close to somewhere between 6 to 10 shots that are going to need matte paintings and need, you know, this level of depth. They wanted to rip apart the house, the cabin that they were in. They want the tornado to strike the building and tear it away. And Mike has built the ceiling and the wall and all the debris and detritus that goes along with it. So here's a wireframe animation of that. And when it's finally rendered, it'll have all the textures and all the lighting and, you know, all the ray trace reflections and transparencies put in. Okay. You can see this 3D world once we're beyond the camera, where everything's going to go, where everything lands, all the stuff up in the air. So there it is, kind of accumulating all up here, sitting off camera in 3D space. The key thing is Kristen Dalton grabs onto the fridge, and it's the last thing that goes, and she's hanging on there for dear life. And just at the last minute, Michael Hall or Johnny, you know, grabs onto her hand, and the fridge itself flies out. This is the plate. This is actually what happened on the day. You can see the green screen, the wires, the rig. The handle to the fridge was stuck on a C-stand. With mild wind, no debris. Let's jump ahead to a composite. Now these shots are in temporary progress right now. These would be one of the earliest things we would release to editorial. So there you go, with everything in the tornado, lightning, and the environment in the background. This is Jared, our lead compositor.
Hey. This is the raw plate. I'll kind of show you how we layer up the stuff. Here we've added some CG trees and some CG water. Some nice ripply water. And then we add in a matte painting sky, which is still in progress, but it's getting there. And then this is kind of the final shot.
I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of work, a lot of research goes into making these tornadoes and make this environment come back to life. I mean, from basically out on the day, it was sunny, not one ripple on the lake, not one tree was moving, and I don't even think any wind was blowing, and Michael Hall is basically screaming out to nothing. Well, ultimately, the success of the shot, the success of this show will be determined by the audience not realizing that this is a CG construct, not realizing that this is, you know, anything but real. We want this to seamlessly blend into the show and just feel like this very natural phenomenon, this aberration of, you know, wind and water, and not feel like it's a fake environment. That's our ultimate goal, and that's what we're trying to bring. We're trying to bring feature film visual effects to television, and I think we're doing this on the Dead Zone.